Hello, hello. How's it going, y'all? We're back on a beautiful Tuesday. Sorry, I wasn't streaming yesterday. I go into the office every other Monday, and it's like really far, so it kind of ends up just being a whole day. So we're always gonna probably miss every other Monday, unless something changes. But we're back on Tuesday here. We're gonna be tackling. Thanks, GeForce Experience in-game overlay. I'll figure out how to turn that off at some point. So we're still figuring this shit out. This song is like... Song's a little creepy. I'm trying to skip it, but... Okay, so we're still figuring out some of this nonsense. The fact that the boxes by themselves work correctly makes me feel good. There's definitely some issues. Like, we're not getting correct outlines in some situations. But we're also, I think, getting some weird Z fighting. Like some Y index issues, some Y sorting issues, especially when we like start densely filling in the space. So we're gonna chase down these bugs. Which will probably be of varying kinds in varying places. I didn't really do any of that over the weekend. I worked a little on my old jam game, which was nice. Berlansky, a few streamers you follow weren't on yesterday. He thought something was down. I think Monday is just kind of quiet, or is TwitchCon happening this week? I don't know. I actually don't know. I don't think it is. I think people are just quiet. No, that's next month. I think people are just quiet on Mondays a lot of the time. Although, that said, not a lot of people are on today either, so maybe there is something. I know DEF CON is happening, but I feel like it's probably over by now. I don't know. It's a good question. I should really know more about this stuff. I should know when people aren't streaming, so I can, like, sneak in there. All right, let's grab our tile set. I think some of the problems are in here. That would be awesome if some of the problems were in here, because that would be the easiest thing to fix. So I'm just going to go through and double check our texture origins. That's correct. All of these are correct. These are also correct. Negative 810. Oh, these say 810, not negative 810. Oh, these are wrong. So here's one of the problems. So this says negative 810. Yeep. Well, there's one problem spotted. I wonder if this affects all the walls. This is what happens when you redo this like 3 times. Get sloppy. Oh, could I just have been selecting all of these? I don't know. It's not working. Try again on the next set. Well, that's something. It might explain some of our problems. Let's make sure this one's correct. So this This is -8, 6. This is 8, -6. Oh man, so yeah, I just blew it when setting these up. Can I not select all of these at once? That's frustrating. Because I can select all of these at once, right? Yeah, I cannot select all of these at once. Well, let's just reset these. Shift click each one, maybe. No. Alternative tiles are weird, to be fair. So that's not like... Oh, that's also wrong. It should be 8, 6, -6. This is correct. Then is this one wrong? Oh, I'm an idiot. These are mirrors. I just totally messed everything up. I forgot that these were opposites. These were correct. Okay, I don't know what I'm doing now. Now I'm maybe causing issues. Thought I found an easy win here, but I did not. I also controlled Z a bunch of times. Maybe you're just going to close the project and reopen it. Because everything we just did was wrong. Yeah, exactly. First get revert of the day. Yeah. It's 10 minutes in. Everything should be back to normal now. This is -8, 6. This is 8, -6. That's right. This is right. I'm pretty sure these are all right. What I want to try next is I want to try introducing Z indexing into the tile set itself. Because there might be some Z fighting happening, which might explain part of our problem. But because this all looks correct. So I don't think we're finding an easy answer here. Yeah, cheers for putting you onto GitHub for Godot projects too. Turns out it's also so much easier for your artist to drop sprites in. Oh yeah, because sprites are small. You don't have to use a separate version control stuff for sprites. I also just put it in my entire Git project. If you're doing something else, you need like a large file system thing, which Git does offer, but it's like a paid service. But yeah, for sprites, it's like, who cares? It's pretty great. Okay, so we're gonna bump up the Z indexing for these. We're gonna bump up the Z indexing for the tops of the walls and the floors and see if that does anything. That should give us an idea of whether this is a Z indexing problem or like we're actually picking the wrong tiles to place. Z fighting is the problem, said the German game dev. Yes. So it did not do anything, which is interesting. Check something else here. Okay, so it doesn't appear to be a Y sorting issue, but I'm kind of skeptical of that. Turn Y sorting back on here. Wrong project. Okay, still no difference. So there's something going on maybe with our system. This system, the get hull types. I don't think the cutaway system is running right now. I hope it's not. That might have some of that might be part of the problem. I don't think so though. I don't think we're running this right now. I'm gonna make sure that's true. Blocks are working in isolation. The issue is when they're being combined. So that's probably in our logic, which stage of the logic though? Maybe the hull types? It could be the hull types, could be the atlas chords piece. The hull types actually look correct. It really does look like a drawing issue, not a tile selection issue. I kind of want to get this working correctly first, and then worry about... So there's a step we're missing here, which is that we're not clearing this. This is all just the paint preview, which is not what I want. We need to clear this away. Where is this not being cleared from? Is it not being cleared from the tile blocks or from the TileMapLayer? Maybe tile IDs or hull types? No, we're clearing hull types, clearing tile IDs. coords and tile IDs. Oh. So we also need to all tiles, get source IDs. Where are we setting the actual tile here? Oh, set tile cells. When are we doing that? Oh, we're doing that right here. Okay. So we need to say something like for cell in get used cells. So actually, can we just erase the whole thing? This is kind of extreme, but this is how we're gonna do it for now. Clear, we'll just clear the whole thing for now. That should have done it. Trying to clear the whole tile map layer here. Clears all cells. Should have worked. Maybe we're not cleaning up tile blocks correctly. Let's check it if this is correct. Records for cell in get used cells. Cell clear self clear erase cell, is that what it's called? Erase cell cell. Okay, so that's not working. Or it's not doing anything particularly. Which makes me think that we're not actually clearing this here. Where is try reveal hidden block at? Reveal hidden block at. Tile blocks.erase coords. Okay, we are erasing it. But yeah, we're having this issue where we're not. That drawing function I'm using shouldn't even leave anything behind. It should just be the one tile following the cursor around. So maybe it's a problem here. Preview block at. Tile blocks has hidden blocks with block. Reveal block hidden block at prior coords. Preview block at mapped coords. Are we not resetting prior coords? No, prior coords are mapped coords. I think I just need to watch this function, watch this run for a second. I need to grab this, go to the remote, go to the ship editor, go to the starship, the ship hull. Yeah, tile blocks. Let's watch this. Let's watch this array. Two, 8, 16, 23. So yeah, this is never being erased. Blocks 0. Huh. Okay. Okay, yes. So this is not functioning. This reveal hidden block thing is not working. Ah, if hidden blocks has coordinates, we need to add the null. This thing. Do we? Can we do this a different way? Just say else hidden blocks chords is enum.block.null. That should do it. Else hidden. We need to keep track of nulls in this specific case. Yep, there we go. Okay. This is how it's supposed to work. And even this is incorrect. We're getting the wrong tile. We're getting a tile that thinks it has a negative X neighbor. Okay, well that's good. We're isolating the problem. This is a little laggy. Maybe it's not. All right. Starting to isolate the problem here. So that means this part is wrong, right? The atlas coords. Let's look at the tile set. So it's picking this one. It's picking this one right here. 1, 0 instead of 0, 0. Okay, let's figure that out. That could be a big part of this. All right, if all types has coordinates plus adjacent face, this should say no. Is that a thing? Let's make sure this is exactly where this problem is. Yeah, occasionally. Oh no, it's just consistently giving us back 1, 0 for the Z. Okay, it's interesting. Z, that's fascinating. Oh, it's checking itself. Oh, I'm so stupid. There was a 0 here at the end. And there should have been up along the Y. I thought that would have been down along... Oh, okay. So that should be solved. Okay, so that's correct in isolation. What if we draw a bunch of these? Oh, what is happening here? Okay, so we're still having a weird time here. Also, why is that the shape that this is drawing? That's fascinating. I think I know where that's happening. Now we got ads in a minute. I'll take a quick couple-minute break to finish my breakfast when the ads are running. I have a new mouse and keyboard coming today, which is exciting. Let's see. So this is happening here, I think. What mouse and keyboard have I ordered? I'm getting the Kinesis Advantage 360. I have a Kinesis Advantage 2, but that's like fixed. I'm getting a Kinesis Advantage 360, which is this wild split keyboard. And then the mouse is not very exciting. The mouse is actually kind of a downgrade. I'm getting an MX Master, a Logitech MX Master 3S. I'm just getting it because it has good Bluetooth support for multiple devices. All right, I'll be back in a minute. Scarf this breakfast down while the ads are running. All right, we're back. Breakfast achieved. So it goes from the largest point to the smallest point. Do I have a utility function for this now? No, this is just checking less than or greater than. Oh no, this is actually what I want, huh? This is poorly named. I mean, I'm pretty confident that most of this is working. I probably plugged in the wrong value here somewhere. ZYX, ZYX. Ah, here's the culprit. Say util dot less than or equal chords min point max point. I need to call this like within bounds, but it's like two different kinds of within bounds. Because it's not really less than or equal, because we actually want to check to see if it's within these bounds. But I have two versions of it, and I have like the version that's less, like greater than less than, or greater than less than or equal. So I could call it like within bounds for one of these, but like the other one would be like well within bounds. I don't know. I could give a name that would explain it to me, but maybe that's all I need to do. Deal with that later. I want to deal with the actual problem and not just awkward code naming. Okay, we got this back. So this is working again. It's giving us, so somehow we fixed the middle chunk thing to an extent. We're still picking the wrong, something is happening here on the edges. And it's very weird. The outer edges are behaving super strangely. The inner thing, I think the inner thing is probably also behaving strangely, but we're just hiding it because of the way that we've introduced Z indexing. So here there's something very wild happening along the lower right edge. It's very different than the wild thing happening along the lower left edge. The lower left edge thing is just, we're just not getting rid of quite all of the outlines. What is this thing that happens? Where the sidewall, it's probably really hard to see on stream, but the sidewall is like creeping up by 1 pixel. Actually, it's just adding its boundary, huh? So, what's happening here on the edge? This shouldn't be happening anyway, for one thing. Okay, it looks like we're having more... I don't think this is hull type issues. This seems to just continue to be atlas coordinate issues. Interesting. So the the z-index outlines, or the z-face outlines, like the top of the floor here, the outlines are not drawing correctly on the edges, on the back edges. The bottom outlines are not drawing correctly on this side, on the lower left side. I don't know what the fuck is happening on this side. Definitely closer. You missed how I got this far. What's been fixed to get it to this? I did a couple of things. One is that I've introduced some additional z-indexing in the tile set itself, which I think did something. And the other thing is we messed a little bit with the atlas coordinates. We found a bug on the atlas coordinates deal here. I'm a little concerned that there's like another bug here somewhere. Oh, we're just incomplete. I think we're doing this in a way that's incomplete. Let me check. Let me see if I'm right. No, we're doing it. Maybe we're just checking the wrong sides. No, we're checking the right side, so why is this behaving weirdly? So up here, we're definitely grabbing the wrong tiles in the atlas coord system. I'm just not exactly sure why. I think our problem is isolated to this chunk of code here. Or at least most of our problems are here. For adjacent face and our adjacent faces, if the hull types has this, we do a certain thing. We need to deal with what happens if the hull types doesn't, though. Oh, no, we're dealing with by incrementing. So there's something with this increment that's causing a problem, I think. It seemed clever at the time to use an increment, but maybe we're getting problems from it. So if all types, coordinates plus adjacent face is the same. So part of the problem is this is happening. Oh, I see exactly what's happening, at least in at least one case. Instead of picking this face, we're picking this one. So we're picking 1, 0 instead of 0, 1 when we're at the upper left edge. And then when we're at the upper right edge, we're doing the opposite. We're picking 0, 1 instead of 1, 0. So that's interesting. So I'm picking the wrong component to increment then? If adjacent face dot max axis index is greater than 0, then we do y instead of x. That seems right. Increment 2 if adjacent face dot max axis index. So this is the component that is highest. This is greater than 0. Go up by 2, otherwise we go up by 1. Okay, so we go up by 2 if it's a positive number, we go up by 1 if it's a negative number. Might not work for this. This might need to be different for the different types of faces, maybe. Because this is basically saying if we're dealing with the positive neighbors, which are the neighbors in front of the tile that's under consideration, we go up by 2. That is correct. If we do both, we go up by 3. But I'm pretty sure that's right. So yeah, for this tile here, like on the left, we think there's a neighbor here. Oh, but I can fix it by just doing that. So that's weird. So the middle, in cases where you have like 3 or more neighbors, it seems to be mostly working. Well, maybe not mostly. It's working better. When you're missing some of these neighbors, it's not doing the correct thing. This is still perplexing, whatever's going on here on the bottom right side. It's almost like the middle hull has a higher z-index than the outer hull. Definitely shouldn't be the case. Maybe I messed that up. Middle floor side. Oh, you're all zeros. Outer floor side. You're also all zeros. Inner floor side. Still all zeros. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know about that one. That's a weird one. The bottom right border is toggling based on the right neighbor, not the bottom right neighbor. I think you're right. I think the thing that you're observing the problem is with these middle ones that have multiple neighbors that have like 3 neighbors. So we're observing it when we do this. Or when we do this. Oh no, you're right. It is the right neighbor. Because we can pop one on right here. And it's doing something. That's very strange. Oh, it's also getting rid of the upper left. Okay, we have an axis problem. Good eyes for Lansky. What do we do? What about this side, though? Is it doing the same thing? It's doing the same thing, just... Oh, yeah, we have an axis mix-up. So, if we pop it on here, it's getting rid of... I see 2 outlines that are disappearing. And they're the wrong 2. So on the left side, we're getting rid of the bottom one instead of the left one. And on the upper right side, we are getting rid of that outline instead of the upper left. Okay, so we're getting rid of negative x instead of negative y. And we're getting rid of negative z instead of negative y. Which is weird because that's the opposite problem. So it's weird that we're doing that. So we're dropping the negative x outline instead of the negative y outline on the z face. And we're dropping the negative z outline instead of the negative y outline on the y face. Or no, that's negative x. We're dropping the negative z outline instead of the negative x outline on the y face. It's weird that that's the opposite. I would have thought that we would bias in favor of like the higher index or the higher dimension or something like that, but we're not. We're doing different things in different circumstances here, so that's strange. Yeah. That's interesting. Probably a side effect of me trying to be too clever here. So it probably has something to do with this max axis index. Let me look at the adjacent faces, see if there's a relationship there. So for this one, we have been getting rid of this. Oh, no. Yeah, we're getting rid of this outline. This one. Getting rid of this outline when we should be getting rid of this outline. And then for the side, we're getting rid of this outline when we should be getting rid of this outline. Okay, so the problems occupy the same place in this array. So it's this first element is being gotten rid of instead of this third element. So we're mismatching here. So the problem is with the negative neighbors. Interesting. I don't think we care about the elements per se, so I don't totally understand that, but it's something to do with the x-axis. Oh. Oh no, it's the opposite. We are getting rid of this one when we should be getting rid of this one. It's actually flipped. Okay, so that's not a relationship there. I'm mistaken. Yeah, this is a weird problem. But we'll get through this, and we'll move on to more interesting things. Let's look at this on the tile set. Again, just for my own sanity here. So we're getting rid of this one when we should be getting rid of this one. So we're incrementing the y instead of the x. We're incrementing the y instead of the x. And then for this one, are we doing the same thing? Is that the problem? Is that where the problem is? It's over here. This one, we're incrementing the y instead of the x. Okay, we've identified the problem. So here, it's right here. It's this fucker right here. Adjacent face.max axis index is greater than 0. We're incrementing the y instead of the x. So that's wrong. But why is that wrong? That seemed correct. Oh, this fails under... We needed an absolute. The absolute max axis. It's adjacent face dot max axis index, but it's AVSI. I think we found it. We weren't getting the max of the absolute. So we were getting a random zeros every once in a while. Because 0 is bigger than -1, as is commonly held. Oh, we don't need to do this twice. We also don't need to do this way. We can say plus equal, oh, increment equals 2. Plus, we can just say plus equals 2. Plus equals 1. We can get rid of this. In which case we can get rid of this. There we go. Oh, no, these are different things. This is correct. I was getting a little carried away there for a second. Because we're checking the value of the max axis index. Oh, we also don't want this. I'm getting all mixed up. This is what we want. Or no, we want this. We want this. I'm gonna figure it out eventually. Getting mixed up by absolute values here. We could just say this. We could just say hey, hey, voila, Gracie 789. I'm good, thanks. I actually do my own art, but I appreciate it. I appreciate you stopping by and making the offer. You should do my own pixel art when I'm not bashing my head against the wall with programming. Yeah, you too. Good luck out there. This is confusing because I'm saying the absolute max axis, but the absolute max axis is not an absolute value itself. Door-to-door sales, but online, that's wild. It's pretty typical. They tend to come into smaller streamers a lot more, I think. I think they get banned by larger streamers. I don't mind. They're just artists. It's fucking hard being an artist. Trying to make a living right now. All right, I think this will work because we're getting the absolute. We're getting the max axis. We're gonna say max axis by absolute val. That's more clear than absolute max axis, which is not. If we just say absolute max axis index. We don't have to be super clear with the variable definition because it's right here. But this should work. I was being an idiot because I wasn't getting the absolute max axis. And because I wasn't getting the absolute, I was getting zeros everywhere. I wonder how much that solves our problem. It gives us different problems, so I'm okay with that. Didn't solve our problem. It gave us different problems. So maybe I only have part of the solution here. We have fixed the outlines along the back side. I know it's really hard because I'm basically rendering black outlines against black space. It's still broken here for some reason. So it's not the whole story. But it's fixing a certain problem and introducing others. So that's fun. Okay, so now we're doing kind of the same thing, but now we're, instead of doing it at a 90-degree angle, we're doing it like all the way across. Yeah, I think I kind of see what's happening. We're flipping here. We're flipping between these two. So we're pulling 2, 0 when we should be pulling 1, 0. Or no, we're flipping. Yeah, that's what we're doing. So that's weird that's why that's what's happening here. Suddenly striped floors are a feature. Yeah, that probably is an indicator of what's happening. The problem is we're not getting to the third state, which is the state that's like you're clear on both sides. We're doing it along this axis, which is interesting, but not this axis. So this axis, this is the x-axis, and the x-axis does this. So we're doing the y-axis easily because the y-axis is happening across the top. It's just 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0. So this seems to be working, but we're not doing it correctly going along the y here. We're not doing 0, 1, 0, 2, 0, 3. And similarly, Not doing these correctly, which is weird because this is 1 0 2 0 3 0. That's weird. So it's still a problem with the increment. Oh. I did not write this the way I thought I wrote it. That should be better now. Oh, that is a lot worse. But at least we seem to have isolated this weird thing that we're seeing. Now we just have to deal with this strange problem that we're seeing. Hey Storkrar, how's it going? Welcome to the channel. We're debugging an autotiler. Let's deal with smaller cases. So let's just take, here's like a straight line. So straight line this way. So we're having the problem again where the negative x is being read incorrectly. It's actually being controlled by the opposite side somehow. Oh god, the positive y is also going wonky. Yeah, we've got our own, we're on Godot 4.3 and we're kind of making our own autotiler to use the new TileMapLayer class, which is quite good. But traditionally autotilers only operate on a single tilemap layer. Our autotiler operates on like many, and it's complicated. But we're figuring it out slowly. There's some interesting, we're basically mismatching sides quite a bit. Interesting how it works correctly here. But how are you doing? Are you doing some Godot stuff as well? Okay, so whatever's happening on the side here, I almost don't want to think about right now. I want to think about this other issue. I want to think about this issue. What the F is this? So we're picking the positive x. We're hiding the outline on the positive x. Where's that y? On positive y instead of negative x. And we're only doing it if you have neighbors in front of you. So if you have a neighbor along a negative x, you're hiding. Oh, if you have a neighbor along your positive x, so in front of you to the right, you are hiding the outline for positive y, but doing nothing else. You're doing everything else correct, but you're hiding this one. And then on this side, you have a neighbor in front of you along positive y. Oh no, this is a neighbor behind you. You're hiding the negative x. Okay, so when you have a neighbor along your negative x, you're hiding your negative y outline. And when you have a neighbor along positive x. You're hiding your positive y. So there's another flip. We're flipping this again somehow. It has something to do with the atlas chords being flipped. Or incrementing the wrong component. The moment, no, you're just watching and learning from others. I've only done very basic stuff in Godot. You just find it fascinating to watch others do their thing. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm definitely not the kind of person you want to learn from, but we're trying stuff. I'm sure you'll be able to learn from my failures, even if I don't. So if the adjacent face with the max axis index, with the absolute max axis index, ABSI, adjacent face dot max axis. Oh, this doesn't do anything. I'm still not doing what I'm intending to do. So it needs to be ABS V. Is there an ABS V? ABS adjacent face dot max axis index. That's what we want to do. We want to grab the absolute value of this vector, then get the max axis index. Assuming I know what max axis index is doing. Let me make sure I do. You can also do min axis index. Okay, this should work. This should work. Or it should do something different than what we've been observing. How about that? It's not. Did I not save? Gonna make sure this axis thing is doing what I expect it to do here. Okay. I'll make sure we're getting that, because that change I made should have done something, and it seems not to have. Oh, what? Here's something interesting. We don't seem to ever be getting to... We don't ever seem to be getting to the Z face. Or the z neighbors. Oh, no, we're not going to ever get to the z neighbors because we don't have z neighbors. We don't have z neighbors as yet. We're only doing x and y. Okay, well, this all is working. Be interested to see what the problem is once we get to that point. I mean, I say working in the sense that it's doing what I'm expecting it to do. The result we're getting is not the result we're expecting, so there's a disconnect somewhere. As there always is. So we're getting the absolute value of this adjacent face. We're grabbing its max axis index. We're incrementing by 2 if the value of this, if the biggest index or the biggest axis is greater than 0. Otherwise, we're incrementing by 1. Is that correct? Is that assumption correct? I feel like it's supposed to, it is, but negative is 1. Positive is 2. If we do both, we should end up with 3. Are we just never, we're never ending up with 3, which is interesting. Like, we're never getting to this 3, and why is that? Is it because I'm declaring, it's because I'm redeclaring this variable? Oh, no, plus equals. So this should be good. Because we are getting to 3 in some cases. I've seen it. I've seen it. We're not getting to it all the time, though, which is weird. Now, there might be a source ID problem here somewhere. I don't think so, but there might be. It would explain some of this. All types, coords, times 4. Yeah, that's right. Zero, that should be 0. Block type times 2. 4 plus z facing is 1. It's layer number. 0, 1. What do I use layer number for again? Do I use it for anything? No. Just kind of desperately trying different things here. All right, we're going to keep trying to deal with the outlines. I feel like if we fix the outlines, we'll eventually figure out what the hell is going on with these Z-face issues. It's almost like they're being drawn. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. It's kind of wild. Bottom left side? No, not exactly. This should be flush. Like this sidewall should be flush. It is not. It's honestly flipping the axes that it's paying attention to, which is interesting. Just trying to think about how to deal with that. And then something's happening on the top, which is bizarre, and which we weren't observing until we fixed something a minute ago. Quote unquote fixed something. So that's perplexing. Just gonna change stuff and see what happens. It's very weird. Yeah, none of it is working exactly as it's supposed to. This should be broken. This should be incredibly broken what I'm about to do. And it looks marginally better. Huh. Oh, I also need to I need to go back to some stuff here. 0. Oh, that's the same. Everything looks correct as far as like having Y sort enabled on the correct things. Try that for a second. I don't think that's going to do anything. I think Y sort only affects its children, but trying some stuff. Okay, that's different. It's showing me some rather impossible shapes. Which is interesting. But yeah, we're definitely noticing this outline issue. I think if we fix the outline issue, we'll be in better shape here. Triangles. Yeah, that shouldn't be possible. Because these tiles aren't transparent, so you shouldn't be able to see something like that. You should only see something else. Yeah, like what the F? I don't understand what's happening there, so I'm not going to think about that right now. I'm going to focus on fixing what I do understand better, which is this outline system. So when we attach in the positive X direction, we undo the outline in the positive y. That's weird. I don't think the hull types is a problem. I think we have been getting consistently the correct hull types. It looks like we are. It looks like our problem is just indexing into the correct tile. As far as I can imagine, this should be working. This code block we have here should do exactly what we want, and it does not. Maybe this is wrong. So this is just saying, is this value greater than 0? Or less than? This is not right. Okay, I think there's a problem here. Alright, we got ads in a minute. I'm gonna think about this. Ah. Bam. Got almost all of them. That was stupid. We were comparing the value of the... Oh, we got ads. I'll wait till we get back and I'll explain what we did. Yeah, we're waiting. Don't worry about it, Storkrar. Appreciate you letting me know. Sorry for the ads. Back. All right, yeah. So we fixed most of 90% of the issues, which is great. Okay, activating eraser mode broke everything, which is interesting. But anyway, what we did, we were incrementing based on the value of the biggest component in the adjacent face. So like which is basically telling us which axis we were going along, and we didn't do that here. We just wanted to know if the index itself was greater than 0, because the value of the face, whether it's negative or positive, affects the increment, but which component we increment specifically is only based on the index, not the value of the thing that we're indexing into. So, oh, that's too bad. Yeah, I pay for the I shell out the money for like YouTube Premium, Twitch Turbo, just because I cannot condone ads. Anytime I'm watching something and like an ad pops up, I'm furious. Like, all right, so we fixed everything except, well, that error that we found in the eraser, but we'll just not use the eraser for a second. We're almost out of time today anyway, but if we can finish this, I'll be very pleased. So every side is working except positive Y. Positive Y is being a little weird. It's doing some Z outline stuff instead of X outline stuff. I don't know why it's happening on that side but not this side. Because yeah, it should be smooth like on this side. So if you have a negative x-axis neighbor, you are removing your negative z-axis outline. Why? It's only affecting the alternative tiles. Where's the one I want? This one. So 3-0. Are we picking 0-3 instead of 3-0 or something? 3-0. As far as I can tell, we're picking 0-1 instead of 3-0. It's very weird. We're doing some mirroring. You gotta go. This is huge progress. Good luck with the last problem. Yeah, thank you, Lansky. Yeah, I was very concerned. The last problem should be okay. But thank you. It's just a problem with these alt tiles. Sorry, I'm like, it's hard to see what I'm doing. I need to I need a better background color. Like, we're technically supposed to be in outer space. Okay, so it's only if you have a negative X neighbor. So you're just picking 0, 1, whether you're supposed to have 3, 0, or any of the other ones. Okay, interesting. Has something to do with the neighbor. Or it has something to do with the fact that it's mirrored, is what it has something to do with. Oh, okay, maybe we flip it. We have to flip it in some way. I thought about how we would do this when I decided I could do it as a mirror, and now I don't remember what the solution was. We want this one. We either want 3, 0 or even 1, 0 would be great. But instead of 1, 0, we're getting 0, 1. So it's the same problem we were seeing before. So maybe we need to just flip it if it's the other dimension. How can we tell? So I guess we could tell our own dimension. Let's try to come up with a specific solution that's just for Y. See if that works. No, that didn't do anything. That, if anything, made it worse. Oh. I was correcting for the wrong side. All right, got it. Nailed it. Done. We just needed to flip it for that specific axis. We have a working autotiler. We just need to do some different stuff to improve it. But it's working. It's working. Got to deal with this, how it doesn't change when we go up or down a layer. It just keeps drawing. Got to fix that. That's a weird problem. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Stork. Yeah, thank you for being here for the win. We'll be back tomorrow, about the same time. Hopefully rack up some more wins. I hope you rack up some wins yourself. gaming with your friends. Yeah, appreciate the follow if you're so inclined. We try to be consistent, streaming around this time weekdays. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Good luck today. Yeah, we're probably gonna wrap it up here. We'll figure out that eraser issue tomorrow. I gotta get to work. But this has been great. Appreciate everyone for stopping by. As usual, Cubus, Ferlansky, Storkrar, Voilet, Gracie, everybody. And yeah. You'll be back. I appreciate that. We're wrapping it up, but yeah. I'll see you next time then. Bye.